What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be covering accountability and what that means as a designer when you're working with clients. Now, as I've mentioned, this video is going to be around accountability. I don't think it's honestly something that a lot of us think about during a project. When things go wrong, especially, accountability plays a big role in whether something can go drastically wrong or you can kind of change the course of events, being honest and open about where you've made certain mistakes and being able to rectify them as well. Now, since I started my freelance journey in 2018, particularly when I first started out, I made a lot of mistakes when it comes to accountability. Not being accountable of where I've made mistakes during a project, either palming it off or making excuses. An example of my lack of accountability, which I'm more than open to talk about, is when I first started freelancing. I took on a really big logo design project. It was probably one of my highest paid projects at the time. And about halfway through the project, I started getting my wisdom teeth coming through. And anyone that's had wisdom teeth, you know how painful it is when they start coming through. Your face sometimes gets swollen and it's just all around uncomfortable. And what I thought was acceptable at the time, which really wasn't, is to take off time because I felt uncomfortable. Rather than biting the bullet, just going through, making sure that all the client work was done and then taking some time out, I decided, okay, I'm feeling uncomfortable. These wisdom teeth are really killing me. I'm going to take some time out and then hopefully I can make up for it later on. I didn't happen to do that. The client noticed that I wasn't responding to emails, wasn't, getting back to them with updates, and they started to question it. And when they did, that's when I finally came forward and said, I've been taking some time out. I had wisdom teeth pain. I knew I made a mistake by not working through it. And instead of owning up to that, I instead gave them a bunch of excuses. I can almost guarantee if you think of a time now where you questioned what someone's doing and they've provided you with a bunch of excuses, your reaction to that probably wasn't positive. And in this instance, the client's reaction wasn't positive either, because they could tell instead of me working through this difficult time that I was going through, which in retrospect was not that difficult, it was just an uncomfortable feeling that I could have easily worked through. They recognized that and obviously wrote me an email, which wasn't the most pleasant to read, but at the same time, I can completely 100% understand the position that they were in. The biggest learning experience that I could take from this situation, and I'm hoping you guys can too through me sharing this, is that instead of doubling down on my excuses after receiving this negative reaction, is that I was completely accountable for what I had done. And I turned around and I said, look, I'm so sorry that this has happened. I'm going to make this a much better experience. And I fully understand that this is not how business should be conducted. And after that, because I held myself accountable and I was honest and truthful, the response that I got, I was not expecting. They respected the fact that I understood the situation. I wasn't willing to make any more excuses for what I had done, and I was willing to turn things around. It made such a huge impact. The client could have been completely sick of me if I made more excuses. They could have said to me, do you know what? We don't want to work with you. We want a refund. We're going to leave a negative review. And it could have been, honestly, it could have been so bad. But because I had responded in the way that I had, I believe that elicited a more positive response and it made it possible for me to turn things around. So what I want you guys to take away from this is that you're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. We don't live in a perfect world where people don't make mistakes. But the worst thing that you can do during a project is after making a mistake, or if you realize that something's going to come up which is going to affect the project and you don't let the client know about this, believe me, if you're not honest and transparent about things, it can only end in tears. Whereas if you're honest and open about a situation, of course, it's a 50-50. Either that person is still going to be negative about the situation, which you've got to understand, or it opens up the door for you to be able to turn things around and make a negative into a positive. I hope you guys enjoy this new style of content. I really want to diversify my content on my channel, because what I've noticed is the videos that take me the longest are the tutorials and the process videos, and I need something in between where I can stay consistent easily. And hopefully this style of content where it's short and sweet, I can just sit behind the camera and talk to you guys about my experiences as a designer and business owner. Hopefully they can fill up the space in between. Right, I've got to go. Zeus is crying. he probably needs a poo, so I need to take him out. If you did enjoy this video though, please make sure to drop a like on the video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of topics planned for the future. I'm really looking forward to making this a constant series on the channel if you guys like it. So take care, I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you found this useful.